Hey everyone, I'm King. Welcome back to King Spade channel. So big news in ROX, especially for the SEA, Taiwan and Korea server. Some of the job class just got a major rebalance. Whether you are grinding PvE or dominating PvP, these changes will change up your builds and gameplay. I'll break down exactly what shifted, why it matters, and how to adapt. Now this information is from the Taiwan server, but Nila from ROX Uni Discord had kindly translated the text, so I'll be using that in this video. Without delay, let's start. Starting off with the Hunter. First up, Beast Bane. Previously, every 100 dex gave you 1% more damage with no limit. Now you get 1% damage per 80 dex, but it's capped at 50% max. This means early game players get stronger faster, but late game, especially the well, will hit a ceiling. For free-to-play players, this is a huge buff. Reach 4000 dex, you will max at 50% bonus, but veterans or well with over 4000 dex, you are losing a lot of damage. Next, Vulture's Eye got hit hard. Its final damage boost dropped from 45% to 30% at maximum level, but the bigger change, monsters no longer count as surrounding targets for its AoE calculation. This increased farming efficiency, as pulling 10 monsters will not decrease your damage by the surrounding target penalty like before, but players still count in PvP, so for hunters, they are further pushed to the lower rank for PvP. Elemental arrows lost all secondary effect. Now they only convert your damage type: fire, holy, water, wind, and earth. No more 10% elemental damage increase bonuses. Streamlined, perhaps, but PvP just got trickier. That freeze or slow from frozen arrows is gone, so you might want to build around raw damage or status inflicting for PvP. Next, here's a fun one. When unmount the wind wolf and when the normal attack doesn't trigger the hunting wolf, you now have a chance to trigger wolf bite instead. At maximum level, that is a 7% backup proc. Not huge, but great for auto attack builds. Pair that with the falcon auto attack, the hunter damage will add up. Finally, double strafe 1 and 2 from the shadow equipment skill got a buff. Triggering them no longer consume action time. You can weave them between autos without delaying your next attack. Well, as it should, because the rogue double strafe auto cast is already having this mechanic. It does not have the action time when auto cast. Finally, the hunter got it too. This is massive for DPS rotations. In PvP, burst combo like auto attack and double strafe will now feel fluid. In PvE, your damage per second will spike. So what does this mean overall for the hunter? For PvE, Beast Bane skill will have increased damage in early to mid game, even to the late game for free-to-play players. Vulture's Eye also will help tremendously when grinding. For PvP, elemental arrows require smarter play and double strafe is now mandatory. For the hunter builds in general, stacking dex to 4000 probably is enough with the Beast Bane skill cap. Wind Wolf plus Falcon auto attack might be a new meta for hunter. Next, we have the Assassin. First, Meteor Assault got 3 huge upgrades. Its damage attribute shifted from neutral to your weapon's element, meaning it now synergizes with elemental cards and elemental enhancement. The cooldown got slashed from 30 seconds to just 20 seconds, but the real kicker, it can now deal crit damage. This means that Meteor Assault can now be used by Katar weapon assassin apart from the Sonic Blow skill. Next, poison builds just got deadlier. The poison debuff now ignores 15 points of the target's debuff resistance and debuff reduction. Even crazier, new poison research lets your poison takes crit damage. The crit build assassin just got a huge buff with these changes, and that poison 15 debuff resistance ignore will now be useful in PvP. Next, Dark Claw just became way more reliable. Instead of needing critical hits to build stacks, every normal attack now grants stacks. No more crit exclusive, just pure consistent power build up. This is a massive win for the penetration build or the auto attack build in in general. Paired with high attack speed for faster stacks, and PvE grind will be smoother. Sonic Blow threaded its training wheels for a rocket launcher. They removed the 2400 flat damage bonus, but tripled the strength scaling from 100 to 300. But here's the catch: the bonus caps at 400% of your physical attack. There are two ways to look at this. Wells will rejoice with these changes. With 4000 strength, you are adding million damage before multipliers, but it is capped with your physical attack value. For low gear players, this skill is now a high risk, high reward skill. You can benefit from it up to a certain point, but it is a buff nonetheless. Next, Spinning Blade got two tactical shifts. First, auto combat now requires 10 rotation points to cast. Second, it can deal crit damage. The fact that this skill can deal crit, it is a buff for me. So here's how the assassin changed with this update. The poison build is not only for the dagger assassin. Now the Katar also can deal crit poison damage over time DOT damage. It will be useful in PvE. In PvP, perhaps a new burst meta will be born with Sonic Blow plus Meteor Assault combo. Next, we have the Knight job class. Pierce skill on the Shadow Command just got a damage multiplier so massive it will make you double take. The skill is scaled with the Shadow Suit level. With Shadow Suit level 10, you are hitting for 1500% weapon damage plus the base 150%, that is 1650% damage, up from the old multiplier. This isn't an upgrade, it's basically a nuke. Spear Knights just become PvE kings. One-shotting monsters, it will be easier than ever. In PvP, this will pack a punch. Bash skill in Shadow Command now lost its clunky animation lock. Triggering it no longer consumes action time, meaning you can use it between auto attacks without breaking your rhythm. This is revolutionary for both PvE and PvP. In PvE, mowing down monster will at least be 30% faster, I suppose. In PvP combos, stun bash will be a thing now. Pair that with the charge skill, you will lock down Priest before they can cast. Hopefully with these changes, Pierce can now outdamage other Knight skill and hopefully bring the Spear build Knight to the spotlight. Next, the Wizard. Energy Coat got transformed from a flat defense skill into a VIT-scaling fortress. Base reduction jumped to 10% for both physical and magic damage. And now you get 1% damage reduction per 300 VIT, capping at 10% bonus, meaning 20% total reduction at 3000 VIT. This obliterates the glass cannon meta. With 3000 VIT, you take 20% less damage in both PvE and PvP. In PvP, you also will survive skill combos that previously can one-shot kill wizards. Hybrid VIT and INT builds are now more viable than ever. Amplify magic power just became your staff best friend. It swapped 10% magic attack for 50% final magic damage bonus. Why does this matter? Final magic damage stat multiplies all your damage after buff, making it exponentially stronger than raw magic attack. Kindle got a tactical overhaul. Now stacks 4 layers and each layer adds damage multipliers. The fire damage bonus remains but now scales exponentially. With these changes, your fire rotation just became catastrophic. Firebolt, 1 stack of Kindle. Meteor Storm, another stack of Kindle, and you just have to find 4 layers of Kindle to maximize its effect. These changes may birth a new dominant build, the VIT Fire Lord. 3000 VIT with Energy Coat increased 20% damage reduction. Kindle status that amplify damage stacks with Meteor Storm skills and watch the target burn away. Next, we have the Blacksmith. Say goodbye to awkward skill poses. Mammonite 1 and 2 and Zenith Storm 1 and 2 skill in Shadow Command now trigger instantly without consuming action time. In translation, you can now use Mammonite between auto attack. Mammonite's damage now fires instantly after an auto attack. At maximum level, it will deal high burst damage with 0 downtime. Cast Zenith Storm skill mid-combat without standing still. Burst damage may increase by 30%, deleting everything before they can react. This single changed Blacksmith to higher tier DPS. It gives birth to a new strategy for Blacksmith, a hyper-aggressive build Blacksmith. For PvE farmers, you now melt monster to 50% faster. For PvP disruptors with Zenith Storm and Mammonite chains, you basically can't be interrupted. Next, the Priest. Magnus Exorcimus transformed from a slow burn to a divine detonation. Damage coefficient doubled from 60% to 120% per hit. The hits reduced from 6 to 3 and duration slashed from 10 seconds to 6 seconds. So what does this mean? It has burst damage 360% total damage but delivered 3 times faster. Less sustained AoE pressure but devastating against single targets. Flame's SP cost got half. No more begging for SP pots. Epiclesis now is an exclusive skill for book weapon to be casted. One-handed rod user lose access to this area resurrection and heal over time skill. So why this matters? Book Priest will have area resurrection and maintain group healing. One-hand rod priest forced to choose the burst heal sanctuary and single target resurrection, and now the book priest become mandatory for raid support builds like GVG or even in KVM. Book or one-hand rod, which build will save your party? Debate below. Alright, I think I'll stop here. If I want to include every single class in one video, it will be a 1-hour podcast. So stay tuned for part 2 of the job class adjustment for this upcoming update. What do you think of the class adjustment so far? Is it in line with what you have in mind? Let me know at the comment section. That's it for this video. This time video shoutout goes to... Thank you for always supporting me and this channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And also don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next video. And as always, happy playing. Bye bye.